Come on, let's get going. Hey, there we finally go. YouTube, it's Tuesday. You know what that is. It's another Red Rocks fucking video. Yeah, what's going on? My last video, if you didn't check it out, it's up, of course, before this. My tiger hat I usually wear, it's missing. And it doesn't go many places out of my house. I may wear it once in a while in my buddy's house, you know, when it's really, really cold. But yeah, kind of upsetting. So I don't know where it is. By the way, Natty Ice. I'm going to finally wrap up a short series I started last month. I think it was early in December. Video games. Toys that I owned when I was a kid. I did two parts of the 80s. This is for the 90s now. And I'm going to try and actually add pictures of this later when I finish and editing it. Because I guess some of these aren't going to be maybe ones that you seen so much maybe that I'm thinking. I might be wrong. There might be a lot of fans of them, especially when you hit the links, I guess, or the tag, and will bring people to this video. Being born in 1982, by the time the 90s are rolling around, especially, you know, the early to mid 90s, 93 to 96, you know, I'm, what, going on 12, 13, 14. I'm going to definitely be out of toys, figures, whatever you want to call them. So I didn't collect as much or have as big as a collection, I guess, on certain things. Rounding up that time, I was at the beginning of the 90s. Ninja Turtles was dwindling down. I was definitely getting out of them. They moved off of, I think they were on Fox, and they moved to ABC. I just was not much of a fan of the later cartoons at the time. Now, you know, I look back at it now, I think some of them were a little better, especially the animation. But, you know, they were just coming out with, like, the stupidest things, like, sports Donatello and stuff. That just, you know, wasn't appealing to me, of course. Text message on the phone. And then, the very early 1990s, Transformers were definitely pretty much dead around here. I think I even said about how we had Micromasters towards the end of the 80s, and the Pretenders, which were the little robots that were in the shell of the bodies. And that was like, those chapters were pretty much done in my life. I went and I had a big yard sale, and I'd sold all my Transformers stuff and my Ninja Turtles, which I was very upset about. Because, as you know, I'm a huge Transformers fan now, and a lot of the stuff I got rid of is going for, like, mega bucks. And it's a lot of the stuff that wasn't so big in the 90s. Like, I had the Micromaster Autobot base. And I think it was like a shuttle base and stuff like that. That thing goes for like $250 complete. But then there was two newer sets that of stuff that I was collecting and playing with towards, I guess, you know, 93 to 95 or 96 before I'd got rid of it. And one of them, it would be Robotech, or not, I'm sorry, not Robotech, I think it's Battletech or Mech Warrior. It was whatever, like, yeah, there's a series of Mech Warrior, I think it was like a board RPG, and of course they had a Super Nintendo game and a few others. And one was out for like PS1. Of course, that was later. It was like Robotech, and then I think it was like Battletech. I'm sorry, I keep saying Robotech, but it, you know, Mech Warrior, and I'm trying to think what the anime was like called at the time of the cartoon. I don't know why I'm thinking Battletech, but that's not it. And they were, you know, mechs with, you know, with a weapon system that they had limited numbers of ammo with on certain things, and, you know, one guy piloting it. And there was a cartoon that was on, and, you know, coming off of Transformers, me and my buddy were watching it, and we were like, yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. And I don't know why we decided that kind of, you know, at an older age, and it was like 13 or 14, we're like, you know, let's go get some of these guys, you know. Checking them out, we seen the cartoons, and we looked at the boxes and the figures, and they were pretty cool. And I think because we kind of used them more as a game type of thing than as just being, you know, something you're playing with. And you'd be able, because I think the gimmick of these, unless you bought like the very small basic figures, they didn't have this. There was a special part on the actual mech itself that was like a blast point, and if some of most of them had spring-loaded missiles with rubber tips on them, and you could fire the spring-loaded, rubber tips, and they'd hit the mark, and like something would fly off of the. It was spring-loaded, like an arm or two would fly off, a peacock would blow out, a head would fly off it. That was pretty fun to do every once in a while. And there was like, two that were kind of unfair, like the ships, they were all on one side, very hard to hit. And there was another one that was on the good guy's side, kind of looked like a bug. And you could tilt the guns down, like right in front of the blast shield and make the cockpit thing fly off. And kind of felt like it was cheating, so I kind of gave up on what we were doing there. So there's a little break in that. Had to get me another natty. That one was kind of short from the beginning. The only other big thing that I would have collected a lot in the 90s was the Z-Bots. They were little figures that were maybe like this tall, and you get 3 in a pack, or you buy a vehicle and it comes with a guy or two. Oh my god! And this is all honesty. I had probably over 70% of the whole series. I don't know why I thought they were badass. And it's weird because there was maybe only like 100 total figures, kind of in a sense. But then they would take the figure and repaint it 2 or 3 different ways. So you'd be able to, make new figures out of them. And I don't know if there was so much as a gimmick, with the toys themselves. But I think it was just, it was like $6 or $7. You got 3 of them, or it was like $10 and you got a vehicle with one of them. And I had the good guys, whatever they were called. See, I can't remember all that from when I was young. Who's the good guy's name, bad guy's name, whatever. But I had the whole base, and I don't know why I'm thinking they had these spinners in it. You can put a guy in, and he zip us, or maybe it was just a mechanism where you spun it and it went around the base or something. God, that's basically everything I really want to say. I don't know what to say about Z-Bots because, like I said, there was not gimmicky. They didn't have anything special. Like I said, considering I had almost everything. And I'm such anal about completion. There was a thing that was like blue, that was like the bigger thing at the time when they first came out. I don't know why I'm thinking Mother something. Comes the name of the actual little rolling tank that looked like a big bottle. It's a Mother something or something Mother. I don't know why. That's sticking to me. I don't know. That's basically all I have for the 90s. Because like I said, I was growing up. I just want to, finish the series. There's a lot of stuff I've started that are like parts and stuff that I'm trying to finish and get out of the way. And this was the easiest to do. And it was sadly the newest. So yeah, that was toys I collected throughout the 90s. Well, throw some links down below of part 1 and 2 of the 80s if you want to check that out by chance. Have any of these that you've had, or what was something else that you had in the 90s that maybe I didn't, that I should have had, or you thought was cool, and why? Let me know below. Throw the comment below. Do a video response, and after you're done with that, all you beautiful people, come on and drink a beer. Hey, I'll see you next time.